Chapter 1. The Journey Continues. I know it hasn't been that long since we last met, but so many things have happened since then. We must think back to what I told you before. There were many things about Jen's life I did and didn't know then, and others I have since learned. One of the first things that I learned in the last few weeks is Jen's guardian angel's name is Stefan, as he revealed himself to my wife. There was a series of events that happened after that, and it revealed a wide array of information about Jen's final year of life that I had no idea she experienced. A few days after where we left off, mine and Jen's son released a video that revealed a treasure trove of information. One of the first things he revealed was that his mother died from an apparent drug overdose. At this point, we must go back to earlier in my journey. My wife was shown that Jen passed away from an accidental drug overdose, from some type of medication in a green bottle. In her research, she believed to be melatonin. Her vision was correct, for the most part, of what happened, but there are questions that remain. In my son's video, he stated, she passed away from an overdose from OxyContin. The inconsistency in my wife's vision could be a couple of possibilities. One of those is she was taking both medications. And another is possibly the medication came in a green bottle, like she had seen. I personally knew Jen took medication, but didn't know she took pain medication. She did have 3 surgeries within a year and a half of her passing, so she might not have been prescribed those till then, or maybe it was from an accident earlier in life. That, I don't know. Our son also revealed that Jen had experienced health problems over the summer, including a bad case of COVID, which she had to be hospitalized for because it caused breathing problems. He mentioned this because he himself was experiencing a mild case of the virus as well. He said he got it from family members he let move into the house when they lost their home, but he didn't state why they lost their home. He said it was sad that his mother would recover from COVID to only go on to die from what he described as an apparent drug overdose. I fully agree. A doctor first ruined Jen's life with prescription medication and then ultimately took her life in the long run. This story has been repeated way too many times in recent years, unfortunately. Sadly, this is a big reason why not only me, but mine and Jen's son distrust doctors. And as he stated, maybe to his or both of our demise someday, I watched my own father-in-law and other people go down that road for years. Just because a doctor prescribes something doesn't mean they have good intentions. He also mentioned how one of her doctors went to prison because one of their other patients died from a drug overdose as well. He mentioned how, ironically, one of his last conversations with her was about this very thing. He also mentioned a time where she once lit a cigarette after turning on a gas stove, and he would have likely died if he hadn't the need to use the bathroom. He explained how the medication she took often made her drowsy and forgetful, and this is likely what led to that experience. This is a case of his or her guardian angel guiding him for sure, whether he believes that or not. He also revealed that Jen's grandmother passed away at 93, just 4 days after Jen. He spoke about how the family had to plan 2 funerals in a week, and it was rough. He pointed out how it had been tough for his grandmother, who had to bury her mother and daughter in the same week. I couldn't even begin to imagine that pain, nor would I want to. He stated his mother and grandfather both had blood clot issues, and his grandfather, who was a normally quiet man, screamed in pain like he has never heard before. He talked about how he looked in the mirror and he didn't recognize who he was looking at. He mentioned how he was sad, hurt, angry, and most of all, tired. I fully understand, and he has been through a lot of stuff in a short period of time, but also more over the years before the last 2. Addiction not only takes a toll on those who suffer with it, but it also affects those who live around it, and can even cause post-traumatic stress disorder in some cases. My last encounters with Jen in life were very overwhelming and tiring, but I didn't experience it as much as our son did. I must reiterate at this point, there is still so much I don't know, and I continue to have more questions than answers. I did learn a lot about what happened over the last few years of Jen's life, but I do not understand the full extent of what I am experiencing presently, or what is still to come. I am still communicating with Jen's spirit through my wife and talking to her myself as well.